friends, I'm Stephanie Hansen. Let's go! I've been cooking, eating, and talking about it for years.
This is amazingly good.
Now I'm inviting you along for the ride. Stanley! It's the bomb.
Something you cannot live without.
Meet the chefs, home cooks, restaurateurs, and bakers honing their craft.
Everything is going to blow your taste buds up.
And try new recipes with me in my kitchen. It's simple, it's easy, that looks amazing. There's always something delicious to share. These buds got a taste! These buds got a taste! Let's go! This is Taste Buds. Hey Taste Buds! Everybody has that special place in their heart that when they're there reminds them of home. And I'm gonna invite you into my cabin home in Ely, Minnesota, on an island on Burnside Lake, legitimately called True North. It is where I wrote 2 cookbooks, True North Cabin Cookbook Volume 1 and 2, because I loved all of the flavors in the Midwest and I love home cooking. I'm gonna take you on this journey. I'm gonna introduce you to where I come from, and we're gonna cook together. On this episode of Taste Buds, I'm bringing you home. Come along with me. Okay, Taste Buds, I'm at the hometown grocery store, Zups. I'm here to pick up groceries for all the things we're gonna make on the island. We are making chicken and biscuits, an arugula salad with greens from my Hilltop Garden, and I decided to make a blueberry galette because I picked 4 cups of blueberries yesterday and it is gonna be delicious. All right, I'm just here to pick up a few things. This is gonna be for the chicken and biscuits. We could use regular potatoes, but we're gonna use sweet potatoes because I think it makes it just a little bit more delicious. Just so you know, the grocery store is like my favorite place. All right, grabbing my chicken stock. Also, better than bouillon. It's great for making gravies, and we're gonna be making the chicken and biscuit gravy. I got some Parmesan cheese for my arugula Parmesan salad. Coming through, make way. When I'm at the grocery store, I like to point out weird things. Pickle loaf, have you ever seen that? I mean, I've seen olive loaf, but pickle loaf? Those chicken patties look good, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Gonna grab some chicken that we're gonna poach for the chicken and biscuits. And the last thing is to find pine nuts, hazelnuts, walnuts, pecans, macadamia nuts. I mean, if you have macadamia nuts, you probably have pine nuts. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking. Okay, pine nuts. Here they are. You see they're these little, just kind of oily little nuts that are really great to toast. Dog toys? Do I need to get a toy for Stanley at the grocery store? And the gummy bears are for my mother-in-law, Dolores, who's putting up with us while we're taking over the cabin. All right, we're done. Haven't done a cartwheel in a very long time, friends. How you guys doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna make some chicken and biscuits, and I picked 4 cups of blueberries yesterday. So I'm gonna make a blueberry galette. Thank you, Laura. Okay, you too. Let's go cook up some food. So we're heading back to historic Burnside Lodge, which is where we have a boat slip and park our boat. And we'll take you out to the True North Island. Kurt's gonna pick me up in the boat. I got my groceries. I am ready to go. Hey, Kurt.
Hey.
Thank you for picking me up.
Sure.
What have you been doing?
I went fishing. I caught some walleye for dinner.
You did not.
No, you're right, I didn't.
We're heading out to the True North Island on Burnside Lake. It is an actual island. It's 4.5 acres. It's where we have a real rustic cabin. You'll see it in a minute. It's our family place that we've been coming to for over 35 years. Hello, Stanley. All right, Taste Buds, we are here. Now we gotta go cook some delicious items. We gotta cook some delicious things. Go on, Stan, let's go. We are back from town. We've got our groceries unloaded and we are going to make dinner for our family. So we are gonna make a blueberry galette We're also gonna make a chicken and biscuits that's gonna be in a nice skillet. And then we're gonna make an arugula salad with pine nuts. I invited Kurt to make the dough for the galette because he's kind of the dough maker in our house. I can do it, but it's never as good as his. So let's start with the galette.
Okay, we start with the butter, and this is a frozen stick. So you want a frozen stick of butter to start, because what you want are these hard pea-sized pieces of butter that melt and form layers in the crust. So we're just gonna cut it up.
I like to use a Cuisinart too, and so does Kurt, just because it makes making pastry easy.
Right, and we use the cutting blade because we want to cut it, not really mix it. I'm going to add the flour.
We've got 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour.
Yeah, some salt.
About a teaspoon. I like kosher salt.
Okay, and now we're just going to chop it up and get a little pea-sized butter going. So we pulse it. We do not want to over mix this because that butter will start to melt. So I'm going to go with the water. You want it to still look kind of dry. So we're just going to add it real slowly and pulse it like that. And then Stephanie also likes to use a little bit of vodka.
Vodka is the secret ingredient.
And the idea is the vodka is going to evaporate when you cook it and make it just a little bit crispier.
Yeah, it gives it a little more moisture when you're making the dough, but not so much moisture that it's sticky and you can't taste it because it cooks out.
Okay, so it still looks kind of dry, but it's not. So I'm gonna dump this in the bowl. It comes together now in a nice ball. Again, the trick is not to overwork it. And you can see there's chunks of butter in there, and that's really what you want. Now we're gonna put it in the refrigerator so that when we work it again into the crust, the butter still stays cold.
All right, while Kurt's chilling his dough, I'm gonna make the filling. I did pick fresh blueberries from the Ely Hilltop Forest. Yes, I picked them in the forest. I got a tick and everything. That sometimes happens when you're out foraging. But I have about 4 cups. The berries are very sweet, so we're just using a little bit of sugar, about 1/4 cup. We're gonna use some lemon zest. It just brings out that real blueberry flavor. I think lemon is a beautiful accent to blueberries. I'm also gonna add the juice just to give a little extra tart to the sweet. Then we are going to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. In my recipe, you use cornstarch, but Kurt likes to use flour, and I don't have cornstarch. So one of the things about cooking on the island is that you really kind of have to make do with what you have. Okay, we've prepared the blueberries. We're gonna do just a quick egg wash. We're just gonna use this to brush on the outside of the pastry so that it stays glossy and pretty. You ready for your pastry?
Yep.
You can still see the nice hunks of butter in there. Good job, Kurt.
I am going to start rolling this out. It's nice and cold, but you see it kind of crumbles a little bit. So what we're going to do is roll it out a little bit, and then we're going to fold it. You know, the thing about a galette is it's free form, and so we're not going to take anything too seriously.
And the last galette I made, everything flowed out the side. So we're gonna do it Kurt's way this time.
Yeah, you can see the little pieces of butter in there smooshing out, and that'll make layers of crust when it cooks. We're gonna throw it in here.
All right.
Let's put that filling down in the middle.
Do you care how I do it?
Just do it slowly, just so it doesn't jump off the edges of the galette.
No jumping berries.
No jumping berries.
So making kind of a big mound.
Make sure we have a lot of overhang. And then we're just gonna take the edges and start pushing it up like that.
Do you seal them?
You kind of crimp them a little bit,
Okay.
but you don't really need to seal them too much. They should kind of seal themselves. Okay.
I'm gonna do the egg wash on the edges, and then we're gonna sprinkle some sugar on there. Boom! There is
Beautiful.
a blueberry galette.
I love it.
All right, so we're gonna start this in the oven hot, 400 degrees. It's gonna sear the crust. Then after 30 minutes, we're gonna turn it down and we're gonna cook it at 375 for another 30 minutes just to get those berries all burst open so we get all that delicious juice. And there it goes. I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. All right, it's time to check on the galette. Oh boy, does that look good. We have a little bit of spillage, but not too much. Look at that bubbling. I can smell the lemon. That is beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and set it aside because it needs some time for the juices to firm up and to cool down. And we will start working on our chicken and biscuits. And the best chicken and biscuits, I think, use roasted vegetables because you really get the caramelization on the vegetables. So we've got sweet potato here. You could use regular potato if you want, but I like sweet potato. 2 cups of onions and chopped carrots in about a 1/4 inch dice. What I'm going to do is take about 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm gonna spread a couple teaspoons of salt and get them all mixed up on my sheet pan here and roast them in a 400-degree oven for 25 minutes. And that is gonna be our vegetable base. And I'm gonna go ahead and start our gravy. I'm using my cast iron and I'm starting with a couple tablespoons of butter. And I'm gonna make what's called a roux. And a roux is basically a mixture of oil or butter, some kind of a fat, with flour, and you make kind of like a doughy paste in your pan. And you let that cook off a little bit until you get rid of that floury look and that pasty. That kind of cooks out the floury taste. I've got about 3 tablespoons of flour, and I'm gonna add it about a tablespoon at a time just to make sure that I get it all incorporated. And again, I'm just looking to make a paste that's not lumpy, because we don't want lumpy gravy. And the way you get lumpy gravy is by going too fast. You just wanna take your time. All right, so it's getting nice and glossy, a little doughy looking. That's exactly what we want. From here, we're gonna add our flavoring, which is the Better Than Bouillon, and we're gonna start adding our stock. I've got 3 cups of chicken stock, and I'm just gonna add it a little bit at a time while I'm whisking. I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit. So I've started with about a cup of my broth, and I'm just gonna keep stirring and whisking until it starts to thicken, and I'm gonna add a little bit more. The way you can tell your gravy is done is to put your spoon in the gravy and see if it coats the back of the spoon. Our gravy is done. It's plenty salty, so I'm just gonna put a little pepper in. You kind of taste it and see what you like. I've got my herbs. I've got thyme and then rosemary, but I didn't have a lot of it, and I grow it on the island. So again, when you're out here, you kind of got to make do with what you have. So in this instance, I'm adding some sage. And I had some leftover chicken from a chicken dinner that we had on the grill. I also poached 1 chicken breast so that I had 3 cups of chicken. Our veg is ready to come out. Okay, a little roasty, a little toasty. I also started a stick of butter melting. That's going to be the beginnings of the buttermilk. Getting my veg mixed in with my gravy and my chicken. Look at this deliciousness. I mean, all we need to do now is just plop a few buttery biscuits on there and bake this. Woo! I've got my Kemp's buttermilk. I've got 1 cup of that I'm gonna mix in this bowl with the stick of butter. And then I'm gonna add my 2 cups of flour. These are all baking powder, baking soda, sugar, and salt. I'm gonna make just like a shaggy dough here with my flour, my buttermilk, my butter. Hello, little shaggy dough. And then we're gonna plop it just right on top of our biscuit mixture. I've got a 1/4 cup measure here. So here we go. Remember that commercial? Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. It's not exactly like that, but close. And you just kind of want to get them on top of your vessel that you're cooking in. Bloop. How delicious does this look? It's almost like we're making a savory cobbler. Yum. Okay, final biscuit. Look at that. All right, so we're popping this into the oven for about 25 minutes at 400 degrees. All right, it is time to get our chicken and biscuits out of the oven. They look so good. So roasty and toasty and cabin cozy. So we are ready to make the salad, but first we're gonna go to my Ely Hilltop garden and pick fresh arugula. my garden that I tend all summer long. The arugula is here. I planted it about a month ago. It takes about a month. The bugs really love it this time of year, so I'm gonna have to wash it really well. I love arugula. It's very peppery, and I really like to serve it with rich grilled meats, like a ribeye, a beautiful piece of chicken thigh. Oh, I got a giant zucchini, which will make delicious zucchini fritters. Oh, she looks delightful. Yellow squash. And I think I have a pepper in here too. Oh, I do. Cute. I love gardening up here, but it's hard because I really only have a 60-day growing season. Let's get back to the house and finish our meal. All right, I've got my arugula. I've spun the salad. Got it all washed and dried. Looks beauteous. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my pine nuts going. And what I wanna do with these is I just wanna toast them. And it goes fast. And I just kind of keep doing this so that they get a little bit brown. And then before they get too cooked, I'll quickly throw them on top of our salad. So let's get the cheese started. I just like these big kind of long ribbons. They're roughly like about the same size as the leaf of lettuce, so I think it looks pretty. Keep your eyes on the nuts, because as soon as you don't watch them, they'll get burned. Keep your eye on the nuts. Okay, multitasking. You know what happens when home cooks multitask. Okay, our cheese is done. Our nuts are getting toasty. Toasty. Give it just another minute. Okay, I'm gonna take them off the heat and I'm gonna finish up my dressing. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're gonna squeeze some fresh lemon. Hit it with a little bit of salt. Again, I like kosher salt just because I like big flakes. A little pepper. And our nuts, and that's it. Super simple, super delicious. Gonna really pair nicely with the richness of the gravy and the chicken and biscuits. And let us not forget, we still have that delightful blueberry galette. I'm gonna make some Kemp's whipped cream to really bring it all home. And then we're gonna get our family together and sit out on the island and have a delicious dinner. So the last thing that we have to make to complete our cabin meal is some whipped cream for our delicious galette. Now there are some tricks for whipping cream. Number one, you wanna make sure that your whipping cream is super cold, and you wanna make sure that your bowl is cold. Mosquito. Okay, so you wanna start on a lower speed. And slowly incorporate air in here. When you feel like you're about halfway, meaning you can see bubbles in your whipped cream and it's feeling a little bit thicker and a little bit more viscous, then you want to add your flavorings. I like to use powdered sugar because powdered sugar allows the whipped cream to hold longer, so I can put it in the refrigerator or I can set it out on a counter if I'm having a dinner party like tonight, and that whipped cream is going to hold its soft peaks. And I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup. So this is a Sunbeam Mixmaster Junior mixer that my mom had when I was a little kid. It's really old and kind of yellowing, but it's very special to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the gas here and really start giving it a little bit more oomph. Whipping cream takes you about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast you go. All right, you can see the soft peaks forming, and that is when it's done. All right, it's time to eat. Let's go. Should I introduce everybody? Okay, we're just normal.
We're just normal.
Just normal.
Normal family.
Right.
Normal family.
Okay. All right, taste buds. I am here with my family, my mother-in-law Dolores, my daughter Ellie, and my husband Kurt, who you met earlier. And you guys, we have 3 recipes from the True North Cabin Cookbook. We have chicken and biscuits. I know, doesn't that look good? We have the arugula salad from our garden Kurt. And we have the galette that Kurt made with us, the blueberry galette. Look how beautiful his crust turned out. He makes the best crust, doesn't he, Dolores?
Yes, he does.
All right, I'm gonna serve you first. We have chicken and biscuits, and it has sweet potatoes, onions, carrots. Do you want another one?
No.
Okay, all right, then you're good. And Ellie, why don't you pass some salad if anybody wants it? All right, Dolores, what do you think of my chicken and biscuits?
Delicious. The biscuits are particularly fluffy.
And it's not too heavy because sometimes like chicken and biscuits can be really gravy forward and dense. With a light biscuit and good protein, love it.
That's kind of why I like the arugula salad too, because it's a good palate cleanser.
Nice, spicy and bright.
Yes. Kurt, how did you feel about your galette?
Oh, it's beautiful. It turned out wonderfully.
Do you always make galettes that turn out delightful?
Yes, I've never made a bad one in my life.
It's true.
It's 'cause despite the name, galettes are easy.
Did you throw a little bit of vodka in this?
Yeah, a tablespoon.
Oh,
It helps you gather the dough together and creates the moisture so you can knead it and roll it, but then it evaporates out. It's a good trick. Dolores, how long have you been coming to True North Island?
since 1971, I would estimate. It was important to me because it was an anchor in our family.
And we'll all move around, but hopefully this will still be our home.
Kurt, you didn't say this, but Kurt and I got engaged here. I look and he's down on one knee and he's got the ring in the box and he asked me to marry him. And instead of saying yes, the first thing I said was, "Are you sure you want to?" And he was like, "I think so. Is there a reason I don't want to?" In any event, I just get to be part of the family, hopefully forever. Dolores, at every meal you usually give us a toast. So why don't you do us the honors tonight?
I want to say how fortunate I am to have all of you here today. And I'm happy that this is going to be somehow in an archive about living in the Northwoods.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers to the island.
Enjoy. We'll see you back in my kitchen next week, Taste Buds. Thanks for watching.